Today on Love 225, it's time to play ball. Did you know there's only one player in MLB history to be the #1 draft pick, not once but twice? We've got that story on a piece of baseball history. And in color and culture, intricate details in many colors. We're talking to Dana Chapital about sharing stories through her weaving work. You do not want to miss it.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy, the Hip Hop Doc.
That's right, the Hip Hop Doc is in the building, and it's all smiles as he tells us how he mixed music with medicine. We also had some special visitors. You'll want to make sure you stick around for all of that. As always, if you don't love Baton Rouge, it's because you don't know Baton Rouge. And if you don't know Baton Rouge, you're about to. I'm Brandy B. Harris. This is Love 225. From the Bayou Classic to back-to-back SWAC bowling championships, Southern University Athletics has many rich stories. But not many people know that there's a 1975 SU grad who holds a very special distinction in Major League Baseball. I talked to a legendary coach to tell the story of the only two-time #1 overall draft pick in MLB history. Roger Kadar is an athletics giant at Southern University. How were you introduced to Southern baseball?
Well, I came here to play basketball. Came here on a basketball scholarship and found my way out to the baseball field. With his name on the field house and his picture on the stadium, the Hall of Fame coach remembers his 1970 debut with the Jaguars. Now, Brandon, keep all of that in mind that I was playing basketball. I never practiced baseball. Basketball, we started in September practicing, and we finished in February. Baseball started at the end of February. So where do I practice basketball? Baseball, never did. But the coach was determined that I had to be good. And so the rest is history. Throughout the 1970s, college life was still segregated, leaving athletes few options. What made the time so special? Simply because when they were denying us opportunities to go to white schools, we had to go to HBCUs. And the thing that I like to say, back then the supply was great, but there was no demand for us to go to historical white schools.
Do you think that was like the golden era of HBCU baseball?
It was the golden era. We lived toward the end of the golden era. And I said, when I coached the Ricky Weeks team in 2001, 2, 3 team where I had 24 kids drafted, I said, this is probably as good as it's going to get.
2-1 to Weeks.
But decades before Ricky Weeks, the 1971 Jaguar baseball team was loaded when a freshman catcher from Peoria, Illinois joined the team. His name, Danny Goodwin.
We knew he was a really good player. I mean, he really was a good player. And again, if I can go back and say, Danny would admit, we had a lot of good players. Back then, because of historical black schools, there were no other places for black players to go. So they all congregated at historical black schools. So we were loaded, and Danny fit right in.
With him, Goodwin brought lots of attention to the SU baseball program. Why? In 1971, Goodwin was Major League Baseball's first overall pick straight out of high school, turning down a $50,000 signing bonus with the Chicago White Sox to accept a scholarship to Southern University.
We were jacked up. I mean, we were excited, knowing that we're going to get seen. We knew that we were going to be seen because Danny was here, and they all come and see Danny. But we individually realized we had to up our game, be as good as, because if they come in to see Danny, if we do good, they'll see us. And that's what happened in my case. I did just enough where I got seen by the Atlanta Braves.
After graduating from Southern 4 years later, the 3-time All-American once again went first overall to the Oakland Athletics. Nearly 50 years later, he's the only player in MLB history with that distinction. After playing professional baseball, Kadar brought his talents back to Southern working to recruit and once again bring top talent to the Jags.
That was some negative response. People were negative with me, telling me, what are you calling about a kid at HBCU? Your quality of baseball is not that good. I had to hear that kind of stuff. Rather than get angry, I said, that's your opinion. It's changed. This is a different kind of kid. You are basing it based upon some negative opinion that you got and you hadn't seen it. And I tore him down. Yeah, I did a lot of pushing.
And now he's committed to making sure that the stories of black baseball players continue being told.
I've convinced MLB that our history is mainly oral, and I'm still alive with many years that I can tell an accurate story of many of the things that took place. Ain't many of us left that can give an accurate story.
Major salute to my good friend, the legendary coach, Roger Kadar. Now, Danny Goodwin retired from baseball in 1986. He's now living in Atlanta. As a coach, Kadar had 62 of his players drafted to professional baseball, and he's now in several halls of fame. Yeah, salute to him. Not many coaches in the 225 have that kind of legacy, but when we come back, how about a classic coin purse? We're talking to an artist whose weaving wonders are both exceptional and colorful. Then later, the hip-hop doc drops a rhyme for us. We'll have all that right here on Love 225. In today's Color and Culture, Dana Chapital is more than just a textile designer. She uses her fabrics to tell stories of those who came before her. From native to African-influenced designs, her work speaks through the material. And she's here to show us all of her work and talk to us all about these colorful designs and the influences behind it. Dana, thank you so much for joining us on Love 225.
Thank you for having me today.
So first, we've got all these art pieces on display. What is your theme behind your artwork?
I like to tell forgotten stories. I like to tell forgotten stories of people of color, whether it's Native American influence or black wrought iron blacksmiths and Creole women of their color and culture of the past.
And of course, you know, in true Louisiana fashion, there's a colorful history when it comes to even the people of color in Louisiana, whether it's Spanish, French, Native, the Creole descent. There's so many different art forms that kind of shine through. What would be some of your favorite pieces that we have here?
Well, I brought some of my favorite pieces here from different collections over the years. It's more of a retrospective. I like to do mostly accessories, if you will, whether it's wall decor or even clutches and purses, as you can see.
Now, people, the small note is every little design inside these fabric pieces you wove by hand, right?
Yes.
Talk to me about the level of work, the commitment, the hours that go into making even a small piece with this type of intricate design on it.
There's lots of planning. There's lots of research. I come up with concept boards and research before I even start weaving. Then acquiring the yarn and the materials just to weave one of the pieces. The pieces there in the blue Mediterranean nights, that took over 86 hours to actually weave. That doesn't include just preparing the warp on the loom that was used. I actually wove that piece on a 1800s loom in Philadelphia.
Wow, wow. Now, I'm a big pop culture girly, okay? So I look forward to that first Monday in May for the Met Gala, and I'm learning so much about fashion. You and I were just talking, you know, those pieces that you see celebrities wear that maybe took 86 hours to create. It's the fabric that were hand designed, hand woven. It's not just the name behind it, right?
Right. So, you know, fashion designers get a lot of the glory, but and they should, but also it's the textile designer. In many cases, we do weave or make hand couture items, but we do program the looms to weave our pieces also. But it's the textile designer who's responsible for the structure of the fabric and actually the color and the patterns in the fabric.
I absolutely love that. Now I'm looking at these coin purses, like my grandmother would call it. They're
Yes.
modernly called a clutch. Talk to me about these designs, because you told me this is like steel, right? Like metal fences in New Orleans.
It's based off of the wrought iron work done by the blacksmiths throughout the state of Louisiana. So I focused on, there's the weave called deflection, and you can see it. I like it. You'll see it featured in many of my pieces, but I like how it mimics the look of wrought iron work throughout the state.
I absolutely love it. The fact that all of this was hand woven by you, to me, makes it a piece of art that should just be on display. You shouldn't even wear it. But if people have never seen your work, they've never heard of you, what would be your message to them about your pieces?
I hope to inspire people to bring this, this craftsmanship and this art back to life. It's not that it went anywhere, it's just people don't think about textile designs. We take it for granted every day. The first thing you wake up in sheets, you go to the bathroom, you wash your face, typically with a cloth. So we use it from birth to the end. And so I just want to let people know that this is a discipline that you can study, and you can make a very successful career from it.
And these pieces can last a long time. You can
Yes.
pass them on to generations, to family members. I bet they make great gifts.
They do, I have family members, but I've also commissioned pieces. I've sold many of the clutches. I actually have, after doing an exhibit, I have many women who've asked me to do a clutch, because each one is one of a kind. Not only is the fabric woven, and each one is different, but also they're hand sewn. So inside some of these clutches, they have satin or silk insides or leather insides, but everything is hand sewn, so everything is unique.
Now let's pull up that full screen of information so people know where they can visit Dana's website. And Dana, you were telling me you can learn to weave like Dana at an upcoming event, right?
Yes, we're going to have a weaving workshop, Weaving 101, where we can learn some of the basics of weaving on April 27th at the Louisiana State Archives. So we'll have more information coming, and follow us online at Dana Chapital on Instagram or on our website.
All right. Thank you so much, Dana. Thank you for bringing your beautiful pieces with us, and we're looking forward to that Weaving 101. Maybe I can take my hand at some weaving designs and textile designs, and hopefully I can make a beautiful little coin purse like this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
for having
Dana.
us today.
And with that, we'll be right back. When we return, music is medicine. Dr. Rani Whitfield is here to talk to us about his latest ventures as the hip-hop doc. And he's dropping some bars. Plus, later on, we have a very special performance with the hip-hop doc, including some very special little guests here in the Love 225 studio. You do not want to miss it. We'll be right back.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy, the Hip Hop Doc.
Yes, our next guest is called the Hip Hop Doc for a reason. Dr. Rani Whitfield practices medicine and rhymes. He's got a new children's book that promotes positive behavior and family connections, and he is here in the studio joining me for Love 225, the Hip Hop Doc, Dr. Rani Whitfield. I am so happy to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Brandy, this is a blessing. My Southern University grad is
Yes,
so awesome
come on.
to be here. Yes, yes.
Come on, Jaguar
Yes,
Nation.
right,
We
let's do it.
absolutely love that. So first, I've heard so much about you.
Yeah.
You have a reputation that certainly precedes you. How did you get the moniker Hip Hop Doc?
For over 20 decades, I've used music and medicine to attempt to educate kids on health issues. And so from talking about heart disease and stroke, and you say, well, that's a young group to be talking to, but you have to start the messaging early so we can prevent these things from happening. Was blessed with a very beautiful son who's now 5 years old, and started to write a book about our experiences. Now, I didn't write the book overnight. It took a little while to write it. But again, it all started from me reaching out to the community, talking about health messages. In one of my rhymes, I say I go from schools, churches, hospitals, prisons. There's not a place in the world that I won't go to try to deliver health messages, because many of our people, especially in the African-American community, are dying from preventable and treatable diseases.
So did you see a connection between hip-hop music and being able to help spread the message of preventative health care?
Without a doubt. So I've been blessed to have some celebrity clients that have introduced me to other celebrity clients. And I haven't gotten that dream and aspiration where it was I was going to be with Jay-Z on stage and he's going to stop the show and have me come out and
if you're
talk about-
listening, Rock Nation, if y'all listening, okay.
Yeah, stop smoking. It's Dr. Whitfield coming out to deliver this. So it hadn't quite happened that way, but I've been blessed to work with Big Frida, D1. So, you know, some things have happened and I've gotten some messaging out there, but having my son has kind of changed my life. I'll be 55 in a couple weeks.
Oh, you ain't got to age yourself like that now, Doc.
It is what it is. I'm proud of it. I mean, I made it. The knee's still feeling pretty good, but I wanted to do something as a legacy piece for him, and now it's turned into an opportunity to educate kids about reading, which is very, very important.
And so you came up with this idea by being a dad, having a cool kid. What was RJ's response to having something about him and about promoting positive behavior? I'm sure stuff that y'all practice in your house every day.
Yeah, it's what we do. And so the video or the concept came from him actually bringing the garbage can in. And he was 2 years old. His mom was like, don't let my son do it. I was like, I got this. He gets the garbage can up and says, I did it, I did it. It's like, wow. So these things that he accomplishes as he does them, I try to encourage and reinforce positive behaviors, and so they tend to work. And Brent, look, there's a huge problem in our country. 32 million adults cannot read. And we know that illiteracy or being illiterate is associated with poverty, poor health outcomes, incarceration. And so it's very important that we read to our children. I'm a hardworking parent, a very privileged and blessed parent as well, but I work hard and I get home late sometimes, but I always find time to read to my son.
Yeah, they say, statistically speaking, 20 minutes a day of reading with your kids can have a huge impact on their
Correct.
reading outcomes. And Brandy's book drive obviously is a huge proponent of pushing books and making sure that kids have books in their homes that they can read and reference all the time. So tell me this, Doc. What's next for the hip hop doc? If Rock Nation don't call, and I'm sure, I bet after this they gonna call. Yeah, Beyonce's gonna see this and be like, listen, Act 3, we're working on it.
I like that.
The hip hop doc, I need him. So what is next for you?
So we're doing an official book release and signing on March 3rd at the Louisiana Art and Science Museum. There's gonna be music, I'm DJing, free books for the first 125 people. We're not selling anything, so if you get there early enough, you get a free book. And just sharing the music and the history of Louisiana. We're supposed to do it in the Black History Month, but it kind of worked out to fall in March. And so it's my birthday month, and you know how some of us like to celebrate the whole month. Part of my celebrating my birthday. So I'm very excited about it. But again, Louisiana Arts and Science Museum, 12:45 to 5 o'clock. You guys come out, hang out. It's gonna be a great time, great music, and lots of reading.
That's right. And you a celebrity, obviously. You're famous. But will the real celebrity, the star of the show, will RJ be there on Sunday?
RJ will be there in the building with his RJ Did It shirt on. That's how we roll, and that's how we come. And of course, he'll be there with his mom and grandmothers and all
the bosses, the real
crew,
bosses.
Yeah, the people that really make it happen. The crew will be there. And by the way, my mom and my brother helped edit the book, so I'm very, very blessed to have. I lost my father a couple years ago, so I know he's looking down upon me. He's very proud of what we're doing. So
it's a family effort. It's always a family affair. We love that. So tell me, are you gonna perform for us?
You mean today?
Yes.
Not only can I perform for you, but I brought some friends with me, and I can't do it without the Southern Lab crew and my son RJ. They in the building. Yeah. Y'all give it up. Let's go. Y'all give it up for them.
Yay! We are so excited, Dr. Whitfield. I cannot wait for the performance. Cannot wait for the release of RJ Did It. Let's pull up that full screen of information so people can see that book release is happening Sunday, March 3rd, downtown at the Louisiana Art and Science Museum. Thank you so much, Dr. Whitfield, for joining us. And I can't wait for this performance of RJ Did It. And with that, we'll be right back. Now, you know we have a love for music here in the Love 225 studio with RJ himself and some special helpers from Southern Lab. Here's the hip hop doc performing RJ Did It.
He wakes up and brushes his teeth by himself. He does it on his own, that's without my help. He put on his shirt, pants, and shoes and belt, and the smile on his face just makes my heart melt. See, every day we go through the morning checklist. He makes sure he has time for morning breakfast. And some days he can make a big old mess, but he makes sure he cleans it up before he exits. Headed to school, that's his favorite part, to learn numbers and letters, to play and art. If you wanna be sharp, this the place to start, where your teachers can help you be great and smart. Yeah, after school with the day he's had, he loves to play ball and hang with his sister. Sometimes they fuss and fight, but he knows he miss her. Before it's lights out, he like to hug and kiss her. I will help my mom out, cause RJ did it. I will brush my teeth, cause RJ did it. I will help clean up, cause RJ did it. I will go to sleep, cause RJ did it. I will help my dad out, cause RJ did it. I will do my homework, cause RJ did it. I will take the trash out, cause RJ did it. I will exercise, cause RJ did it. You can do anything you put your mind to, young people. The only person who can stop you is you. So if RJ can do it, you can do it too. Cause RJ did it. Cause RJ.
Thank y'all so much for this new episode of Love 225. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Thank you, RJ, for sharing your dad and your story with us, and these wonderful students from Southern Lab and their principal. Shout out to all y'all. Until next time on Love 225. Bye.
225, Love 225. Yay!
Bye. Yay!